See, I mean, look, you go walking up to Dan Patrick with something like this, I mean, do you think he can say, get out of here? I think burnt ends at some point are love language. All right, welcome to Traeger Kitchen. I'm Chad Ward, Director of Barbecue Marketing here at Traeger, and today, poor man's burnt ends. Burnt ends to me are a staple when it comes to smoked barbecue. And today, we're gonna do it with a little smaller cut of meat. We're gonna use a chuck roast. So these chuck roasts are usually about 2 to 3 pounds. Instead of having to commit to a 13, 14, 15, 20 pound brisket, this is a perfect opportunity to cook some burnt ends, regardless if you have a small family or if you're just kind of progressing through your smoking career. This is a great place after you've kind of conquered after you've conquered pork butt, you're kind of looking ahead to that next challenge. I think moving on and doing these poor man burnt ends is a great way to ease yourself into a full packer brisket. First thing we got to do, you're going to see today a lot of the technique is exactly the same on this chuck roast or if we were doing a point off of a full packer. We got to get this baby seasoned up. So today we're using 2 seasonings. We're using the Traeger rub, and then we're going to come over the top with the Traeger prime rib. You got to remember this is a nice thick cut of meat. We want to season it very, very well. So we're going to go with our base layer of the Traeger rub first. Let's get those sides so it looks good on the gram. Then we'll come over the top. Like I said, you want to get a nice heavy coat on here, and we're going 2 levels, 2 layers. So Traeger rub first. This is going to give us that nice savory because we're going to hit it with a lot of sweet towards the end. So we want some of those deep savory flavors. Go ahead and do that with the second. And then gonna give this a flip and hit it with the Traeger prime rib rub next. So you'll notice we've got a real nice coat on. Come back over the top. Usually when I'm layering seasonings, I'm doing it based off the size of the seasoning. So the Traeger rub is a little finer than the prime rib rub. So I always put the finer rub down first and the coarser one on top. That kind of gives it that texture that I like when it comes to smoked meats. And then one thing that's gonna guide us through this cook is Old Faithful meter 2. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna slide that in the thickest part. I'm gonna go right here. So now we've got the meter in, and these babies are seasoned up. One little tip here, if you have the time, you can always let this sit out at room temp for a couple of minutes and let this seasoning start reacting with the meat. It's gonna create a little bit of a slurry, which you're gonna like because that's gonna help form a little better crust, or as we like to say, bark. And hey, you ain't barbecuing if that baby ain't barking. So we'll take these. We could throw these on, but because of these amazing staff here at Traeger Kitchen, I'm gonna give this a quick wipe down. We have some that have been smoking. So we're smoking these at 225 super smoke, and these have been in for a couple of hours. They have hit 170 degrees. So first thing we're gonna do to prepare for those is get us a little bit of foil. And we're gonna, whenever you barbecue, double foil. That's the way I like to do it. That's a little aggressive there, but we'll take it. So we're gonna get us 4 sheets because we got 2 roasts. Yes, that Florida math works out. 2 roasts, double sheets, 4 total sheets. I'm gonna put on some hot gloves here to protect my hands. Burnt ends, I'll tell you, they are one of my favorites. Just that little delicious morsel, that bite. So good. All right. So we are gonna go, there's our first one there. A lot of times here, when you wrap with it with a traditional brisket, you'll add some things. You know, sometimes I'll go with low sodium beef broth. One thing about this chuck roast is it's going to put off a lot of liquid. So I think for this one today, we're not gonna add anything at the wrap phase. When they're done and we cube them up, we're gonna add all kinds of goodness to it. But I feel like for right now, we're just gonna leave it just like this. I'm gonna pull the meter out and put it back in. When we are done, here's both of my pieces of foil. We're gonna get in here nice and tight. Both right there, boom, boom. Come over the top here. One more, we wanna keep this nice and tight. Remember the whole purpose when you are wrapping barbecue is this meat is taking on all the smoke that it can. So now at this point, we are wrapping so that we can finish it. We're gonna make it nice and tender and get it exactly where you want, because we love when those burnt ends just melt in your mouth. Slide the meter probe right back in there. There we go. And now, don't y'all be looking at my look ahead stuff. All right, and we got our second one here. Look at that color. Smells delicious. These are about 170 degrees when we're gonna pull them out to wrap. Once again, that's because it's taken all the smoke that it can. You know what, I'm gonna relocate that little morsel. Boom, look at that. Go here again. Gosh, it smells really good in here. All right. And now we're going to move ahead to the finished. So these have been in at 225. They've reached 203. We're going to pull them off. One thing I want, and I can tell by the feel of these, they have given off a lot of liquid. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open these up, let you take a look. Remember, we added nothing in there. And look at all that jus that has came off of there. And you can tell by the color of it, there's a little fat in there, but there is a whole lot of au jus. I'm gonna get this second one out here also. Don't forget our beautiful meter probe there. Once again, nice amount of au jus that came out of there. I would say this is even a little more golden brown, which means we've got even more pure au jus in there. Okay, so, woo, we got a leaker. All right. And now I'm just gonna cut these. I like my burnt ends a little bit smaller. I like to go that 1 inch by 1 inch. Woo! Keep her on the cutting board, Chad. Get all excited, a knife and some delicious beef in front of me. So we're just gonna go through here. So an interesting thing for those of you that don't know, I kind of cut my teeth in barbecue through competition barbecue, and burnt ends were a love or hate type thing. I was very fortunate when I got started in barbecue that brisket was one of my best categories. And you usually always have to turn in sliced brisket in your box. And they always say, unless the burnt ends are really good, don't turn them in, because it's one more thing that the judge can score you down on. But man, burnt ends are one of those things, if they're even close to good, you want to turn them in because they're just such a good bite of beef. And there's a couple times I know I turned them in and I don't think they helped my score. There were other times I turned them in and I think that's why I placed as high as I did. So they can be finicky, but when done right, they are so good. The other thing you'll notice here too, and why we do this step in the process, is if you really look right here, you'll still see it's tender, but just a touch tight. And this next step where we get these all candied up and thrown back on is gonna finish that last little bit of fat in there and really render out and give us that really nice tenderness. You'll notice I'm being a little particular about the size of my burnt end. I want them all to finish around the same time and rather evenly. So that's why I'm taking a little bit of extra time here, making sure they're as uniform as possible. And then we'll do one more. And this one won't be as long because you'll notice the height is pretty symmetrical all the way across this one, so we won't have to cut too many of them in half height-wise. Look at the smoke ring on that too. Man, beautiful smoke ring all the way around. So one of the fun stories I have about burnt ends is, we've worked with the Dan Patrick Show now for close to 8 years. And Dan, when we were talking about doing the partnership, he said, I got to taste the food off this grill before I can support it and get behind it. So we rented an Airbnb up in Milford, Connecticut on a Friday. And Dan and his crew were going to come by after the show. And Dan's manager came by right beforehand. And I heard him say, hey, it's been a long week. Dan may only stay for 10 or 15 minutes. I'm like, whoa, this is a guy that I used to stay up and get in trouble for going past my bedtime to watch him and Keith Olbermann on Sports Center. I gotta keep him longer than 10, 15, 20 minutes. So we had burnt ends on the menu that day, along with sliced brisket, ribs, chicken, a whole buffet, if you will. And I was like, what happens if I hide these burnt ends? Can I make Dan stay longer? So I was sitting on a Yeti slicing brisket. As soon as they pull up, I hid the burnt ends underneath in the cooler that I was sitting on. Waited till they got about halfway through the meal. And I was like, this seems like a perfect time. And I went up, kind of played the dumb country boy thing, like, shucks, fellas, I forgot the burnt ends. Put them in the middle of the table. Dan goes, I've really enjoyed this meal. Why don't you sit down? I want to hear your story. And I knew at that point there was no way he was getting out in 15 to 20 minutes. So every time I cook burnt ends, I think about that, and it's just a cool story, and it's been a great partnership with Traeger and the Dan Patrick Show. All right, we've got these babies cubed up. Now it's time to add the goodness. So we've got a little bit of that Traeger sweet heat, my favorite Traeger sauce, and it's burnt ends. Let's not get bashful. All right, we got that. Gonna go with a little maple syrup. Nobody said these are cardiologist approved, guys, but they are gonna be damn delicious. We're gonna go with turbinado sugar. One thing to remember, when you're using sugars in barbecue, the larger the sugar crystal, the higher the melt point. So we want to use turbinado sugar, Demura sugar, the ones that have the larger grain, or crystal, I should say, so that way we don't worry about scorching and burning. And then we're going to do a little finish seasoning with just a touch of Traeger rub and a little bit of prime rib rub. And these babies are going to go back on 225 for about an hour to an hour and a half. We just want to see them, we want to see that stick and that seasoning and that sauce stick, and these render out a bit. A trick that I have always used in competition with burnt ends, take a toothpick, when it slides in and you can pull it out of the burnt end without having to hold it down, they are done. Idolo, get up here and splash them, oh boy. Come on. I'm gonna get a little sauce on you. Look at that, that's got all of our seasoning, sugar, sauce, maple syrup. It's all I can do to put this thing back on the grill, old boy. They smell real good right now. All right, and now we are going to put these on. Right here. And voila, there we are. Our finished chuck roast burnt ends. Look at that, so tender. Oh, love it. All right, let's get these plated up. Man, these look good. These are gonna be a crowd pleaser. Pile them high. All right, let's pull these over here. Let me get a little better look. Woo! I'll tell you what, these are the ones you take to the in-law when you want them to write you in the will. All right. Now that right there, it's got some real weight to it. All right, now that we got it looking all pretty, it's the moment of truth. Which one's a winner? I think it looks like this one. I mean, look at that. You know what? One more thing, though. I think we're going to hit it with just a touch of finish seasoning. I don't want to add any more sauce because they're still nice and wet, but let's just get a touch of that Traeger rub and that prime rib rub. Now we're ready. Smoky, right off the bat. Tender. You get the sweetness, but the beef flavor is really kind of punching through. That's just a great bite of barbecue. You need to make this recipe. Where do you start? The description right down below. It's got the recipe there, or go to Traeger.com. You can grab it there. When you get done, all your friends are impressed when you cook this. Make sure you're already subscribed and following our YouTube channel, because every week we're going to come out with more and more banger recipes like this. Till then, take care. All right.